Welcome back, everybody. We're here to do your daily pick a card for May the 23rd. And so we have three cards here, 1, 2, and 3. It's your job to pick which one calls to you the most. That's going to be the most noticeable energy that shows up during your day. For some people, all three of these energies may show up during the day, and they generally will show up in sequential order, starting with 1, then 2, then 3. Just generally, that's how it works. Doesn't have to be. So let's start with card number 1. If you chose card number 1, if I can pick it up, we'll be doing good. The most noticeable energy showing up for your day is indicated by the star card in reverse. Now the star card in reverse is a card that talks to me about being out of touch with your own inner guidance system, being out of touch with your intuition, not having a good grip on how you're feeling about things, finding yourself in situations where you're just not able to be objective. And so this makes it really hard to make decisions and to move forward productively because we're not feeling like we're getting those hunches about what we should be doing or how we should be handling things. And so this is kind of a significant card. This is a card that talks about, if we want to get back in touch with our own inner guidance system, then we have to get grounded. Maybe we take some time doing some meditation. Maybe we get out in nature. Maybe we detach from those situations where we can't feel or where we haven't felt objective. So lots of different ways to handle that. But this is basically a card that just says you're out of touch with yourself and who you are and what your priorities are. Okay? So that's card 1 if you chose that. Card 2. Wow, we're just batting 1,000 today so far. Card 2 shows up as the Falling Tower. So when we have the Falling Tower show up, this is definitely a shakeup. Something is going on that is making things very different from how they used to be. And generally what's happening is that something that we felt comfortable with or secure with in our life sort of crumbles unexpectedly. And it crumbles because we've kind of grown out of it. We went into this thing originally because it offered security from that place where we were coming from. And now we have maximized that. And because we're in that safe place, that secure place, we really haven't been looking at what are the other options around us? What are the other opportunities around us? Where else could I be growing or expanding because we haven't wanted to leave that safe place? So this is basically Spirit stepping in and saying, you know what? I don't like it when you're not growing. I don't like it when you're not expanding. You're missing out on life and so much. And so they'll boot us out of the tower if we don't look for a way out of that tower. And so that's what we have going on here. Now, if you've chosen card number 2, what you need to know about the Tower card is that it is the beginning of a process. And yes, it's a little breathtaking sometimes, and it can take a minute to sort of feel like we're getting our feet back under ourselves. But this tower situation doesn't happen. Spirit doesn't boot us out of a safe place just for the fun of it to watch us and laugh. Spirit is booting us out because there are better opportunities out there for us, and we weren't exploring. We weren't looking for them. So now Spirit is saying, well, I guess now you have to look for those better opportunities, don't you? So in the long term, you're actually coming out ahead. You're coming out better than where you were before when you were hanging out in this tower, in this safe place, this security. You're coming out ahead later on. Right now, it feels a little unsettling and jarring, but the end of the story is a good one. So that's something to keep in mind if this is the card that you have picked. And then let's look at if you chose card number 3. Okay. Trying to avoid the glare as much as I can. These are very glossy cards anyway. So card number 3, what you have showing up is the Seven of Swords, if you chose this. Now, the Seven of Swords for a lot of people talks about deception, trickery, thievery, things like this. I'm not picking that up so much as I'm looking at this card. The other thing the Seven of Swords can indicate is strategy, planning, coming up with a plan, improving a situation that you have right now. Sometimes this comes to me as picking up the pieces even. So this is really, for me, this card talks about looking around at the situation as it is now and making plans for improving that situation. So I think that a lot of us are going to be strategizing, especially those of you who picked this particular card. This is going to be the main theme of the day, is spending some time really strategizing how you can move forward into something that that makes more sense to you. Okay, so if we look at these cards in chronological order, for those of us that these a lot of times show up that way, we've got this sense in the beginning of being confused, not exactly being able to tap into our own intuitive abilities or hunches, not feeling very objective, to having a major shakeup, something that is changing our sense of security. And then we go straight into strategizing. And I think that's interesting that we go that quickly from the Tower to the Seven of Swords. From as soon as we've got that tower crumbling, that security disappearing from our sphere of influence, we're already right away, okay, well, what's the plan? So to me, this says that this tower is not impacting us in the way that towers sometimes can. It's not as big a deal. It's not impacting us in as major a way as it could, because we're already thinking, okay, well, what's my backup plan now? If this is not working, what's my backup plan? I'm putting together a strategy to get to that backup plan. So it looks to me like recovery is happening really quickly here with this tower. So actually glad to see that following the tower for those of us that all three of these end up applying during the day. Okay, so thank you guys very much for being here. I'm looking forward to doing readings and Reiki sessions for some of you during the day, and the rest of you I'll see back on the next video. Peace out.